You've checked in, cleared security, and reached the gate. But in 2025, the real battle is boarding, where overhead bin space is scarce and seniors often lose out, leading to stress, lost medication access, and needless lifting. We spoke with flight attendants, travel insiders, and senior frequent flyers to uncover step-by-step strategies that actually work. And number 3 will change how you handle your carry-on forever. 1. The early boarding advantage. Most airlines still offer early boarding for seniors, but here's the catch. Many seniors don't claim it. They're embarrassed, don't want to slow others down, or simply don't know it exists. That hesitation costs you overhead space. In 2025, flight attendants say bins fill up within minutes, especially on full flights. One retired traveler told us she boarded late out of courtesy and ended up with her medication bag 10 rows behind her. The fix? Always ask at check-in or the gate whether senior early boarding is available. Don't assume. It varies by airline. Use it confidently. It's your right. Keep your carry-on compact and ready to slide in quickly so you don't feel pressured. Overhead bins reward speed, not politeness. But if you can't board early, don't worry. The next trick uses your seat selection to guarantee space. 2. The forward row secret. Many seniors pick seats near the middle of the plane for comfort, but here's the problem. By the time boarding reaches your row, the overhead bins are already jammed. In 2025, bins near the front fill first because business travelers with status often snag those seats. The trick is to choose seats just behind premium cabins. Rows 6 to 9 on many aircraft. These rows board earlier than the main cabin, giving you first dibs on space without paying for business class. A senior couple from Dallas told us this strategy saved them from gate checking their bags on nearly every trip. The fix is simple. When booking, pay close attention to boarding groups tied to your row. If necessary, pay the small extra fee for priority or upfront seating. It's often less than the cost of checking a bag. But even if your seat isn't ideal, there's a carry-on hack that can still guarantee you space by choosing the right bag design. 3. The slim bag hack. Here's a little-known fact. Not all carry-ons are equal. In 2025, many airlines quietly reduced overhead bin depth to fit more seats. That means bulky bags don't always slide in, and seniors end up struggling or being forced to gate check. Slim profile bags, especially those under 9 inches deep, fit almost anywhere, even when bins look full. Flight attendants told us they see slim bags slide into sideways gaps long after others are forced to surrender. One retired teacher shared how switching to a slimmer spinner meant she never had to gate check again. The fix? Invest in a lightweight slim carry-on with front-loading compartments for meds, glasses, or electronics. Choose one with spinner wheels so you're not wrestling in the aisle. And here's the kicker. Place it on its side if the bin looks full. It usually still fits. But bag design alone isn't enough. How you pack it makes or breaks your boarding strategy. 4. The essentials split. Seniors often keep everything in one carry-on, but that's risky. If the bag gets gate checked, you lose instant access to medications, documents, or valuables. In 2025, travel experts recommend splitting essentials. Keep a small underseat bag with everything you can't live without, and a slim overhead bag for less critical items. That way, even if your carry-on is forced into the hold, you're covered. One traveler in Phoenix said this strategy saved her when her main bag was gate checked. Her insulin and passport were safe in her underseat tote. The fix? Use a lightweight personal item like a crossbody tote or backpack. Pack it with meds, IDs, chargers, and one change of clothes. Keep it small enough to fit easily under the seat. Flight attendants won't hassle you. By splitting essentials, you turn an airline's gate check demand into a minor inconvenience, not a crisis. But even the best packing strategy fails if you board at the wrong time. 5. The last on first row trick. Here's a surprising hack. Sometimes, boarding late is smarter. When overhead bins are crammed, flight attendants often keep the first row bin space reserved for last-minute boarders or crew bags. Seniors who board last and sit near the front sometimes score prime space right above their seat while everyone else is fighting rows back. A frequent flyer in Atlanta told us this strategy worked on half his flights. Boarding last, he still secured overhead space in row 2. The fix? Only use this method if you're sitting in the first few rows of economy and can move quickly once you step on. Ask the gate agent if late boarding is an option without losing your seat. It's a gamble, but when it works, it feels like winning the lottery. But if gambling isn't your style, the next strategy guarantees space every time by using airline policies against them. 6. The Priority Boarding Upgrade. Airlines don't advertise this, but almost every carrier sells small upgrades that move you into earlier boarding groups. In 2025, these upgrades usually cost between $15 and $40, far less than the stress of losing your overhead space. Seniors often skip them, thinking upgrades are only for business travelers, but flight attendants say priority boarding is one of the most effective ways to guarantee bin space without splurging on first class. One retired couple in Denver told us they never gate check anymore because they always pay for priority. It's the cheapest peace of mind we buy. The fix? Look for priority or early boarding add-ons when booking your ticket or checking in online. If you use airline apps, these offers often pop up last minute at discounted rates. Don't wait until you're at the gate. It's usually too late by then. But even priority boarding has limits, especially on packed flights. That's where knowing the aircraft itself gives seniors a secret advantage. 7. The Boarding Group Hack. Here's something airlines don't want you to realize. Boarding groups aren't just random numbers, they're tied to how you book your ticket. In 2025, seniors who book directly with airlines instead of third-party sites often get assigned earlier groups, meaning better bin access. Travel insiders told us airlines quietly punish discount bookings by pushing them into the last boarding groups, where overhead space is long gone. One retired couple said their switch from online discounters to direct booking bumped them from Group 8 to Group 4. Night and day difference in stress. The fix? When possible, book directly through the airline website or app and join the airline's free loyalty program. Even basic membership often moves you up a group. And if you fly frequently, consider a co-branded airline credit card. Many automatically include priority boarding perks. Senior travelers don't need to pay for first class to get early access. Just play the booking game smartly. But booking isn't the only secret. Sometimes it's about where you stash your bag when you step on board. 8. The Medical Bag Loophole. Here's a powerful insider tip. In 2025, US and many international airlines can't force you to gate check a bag that contains medical supplies. Seniors who carry medications, CPAP machines, or mobility aids have legal protection under disability and health guidelines. Flight attendants told us they see savvy older travelers use this rule to their advantage by packing meds and medical devices in their carry-ons. One traveler with diabetes in Chicago said labeling her small bag as a medical bag meant it never left her sight, even on crowded flights. The fix? Keep all medications and small medical devices in a clearly labeled pouch or bag. Tell the gate agent it's a required medical bag. It often moves you into earlier boarding automatically. Airlines won't argue with health rules. But while medical bags protect essentials, there's another way seniors can lighten their load entirely without losing what they need. 9. The Soft-Sided Bag Advantage. Most seniors travel with traditional hard-shell carry-ons because they seem sturdier. But here's the problem. Hard-shell bags are unforgiving. If the bin looks even half full, flight attendants may force you to gate check because your case simply won't squeeze into tight spaces. In 2025, many frequent flyers, especially seniors, are switching to soft-sided luggage. These bags have a little give, meaning they can be nudged, angled, or compressed to fit in places a rigid case never would. Flight attendants told us they often save overhead space by rearranging soft-sided bags first, while hardshells are sent down to the cargo hold. A retired teacher from Phoenix said that after swapping to a soft carry-on, she hasn't had to gate check once. Her bag always fits somewhere. The fix? Choose a lightweight, soft-sided spinner or duffel with reinforced edges for protection. Pack it smartly. Heavier items at the bottom, essentials at the top, so it stays balanced even when squeezed into a tight bin. Hardshell looks sleek, but soft-sided wins the overhead game. And if your bag does get squeezed in, you'll still have quick access to it. 10. The Wheels First Method. Overhead bins aren't bottomless closets. They're designed with geometry in mind. In 2025, airlines and manufacturers have redesigned bins to hold more bags, but only if passengers load them properly. Seniors often struggle because they try to shove their bag sideways or lift it handle first, wasting space and making it harder to fit. Flight attendants revealed that bags loaded wheels first, handles out almost always fit better, even in a bin that looks jammed. One senior traveler in Boston said this simple adjustment has saved her bag from gate checking more than once. The fix? Practice loading your bag wheels first before your trip. If the bin looks tight, angle the bag slightly, then slide it in flush against the side. Smaller bags can even go on their side to maximize space. It sounds basic, but most passengers don't know the trick, giving seniors who do an edge every time. And when paired with other hacks, it practically guarantees your carry-on makes the flight with you. 11. The bin buddy approach. Airlines love to tell you, please share overhead space. But here's the insider truth. Most passengers hog it. In 2025, seniors who politely ask for bin space from the person already seated nearby almost always succeed. Why? Because it's easier for someone to agree face-to-face than for a flight attendant to intervene. One retired traveler from Phoenix told us she simply smiled and said, "Could I share this bin with you?" And she rarely had a problem. The fix? As soon as you find your row, ask your seatmate if you can share the bin directly above. This makes it clear your bag belongs there, and people are less likely to push it aside. And if the bin looks packed, flight attendants will usually shuffle smaller items around to make it work for seniors. But if bin sharing isn't possible, there's another strategy: turning your carry-on into a shapeshifter. 12. The convertible carry-on trick. In 2025, more seniors are discovering luggage that transforms. Convertible carry-ons collapse, expand, or even split into two smaller bags. This flexibility is a huge advantage when overhead space gets tight. A Florida traveler said her expandable bag fit overhead on the way out, but when returning on a smaller plane, she unzipped it into two pieces. One went under the seat, the other overhead. No stress, no gate check. The fix? Invest in modern convertible luggage designed for compact planes. Look for bags under 21 inches with expansion zippers or detachable compartments. This way, you're never at the mercy of an airline demanding you check your only carry-on. But smart luggage alone won't save you if you can't lift it into the bin yourself. 13. The lift-free strategy. Overhead bins aren't just about space, they're about strength. For seniors, hoisting a heavy bag above your head is risky and exhausting. Scammers aside, injuries from lifting are one of the top in-flight medical reports. Flight attendants told us seniors often hurt shoulders or backs struggling to stow bags. The fix? Pack lighter and ask for help the right way. Crew are required to assist if you request, but they're not obligated to lift your bag fully unless you clearly say you cannot do it alone. A retired traveler from Chicago said she solved this by always packing a half-full carry-on with spinner wheels. Easy to roll, easy to slide in. And she wasn't shy about asking crew for that final lift. But even if you're careful with lifting, there's one more overlooked trick. Where you sit matters more than you think. 14. The cross-cabin stash. Most seniors feel they must put their bag directly above their own seat. But in 2025, frequent flyers use a smarter tactic: stashing bags across the aisle or a row or two ahead as they board. Why? Because those bins fill first, and you're guaranteed easy access as you pass them. Flight attendants told us they often recommend this strategy for seniors, since it avoids heavy lifting behind your back or walking too far during landing. A traveler in Dallas shared that she always places her bag a row ahead on the opposite side. It's in sight, secure, and never stuck in the back. The fix? As you enter the plane, scan bins early. If you see space just before your row, politely ask a crew member if you can use it. Place your bag wheels first so it slides cleanly. You'll avoid the stress of full bins and keep your bag closer than most people think possible. And if you worry about quick exits, don't. Retrieving from ahead is always faster than hunting behind you. 15. The bin scout method. You've boarded and your assigned bin is already full. Most seniors simply accept gate checking, but the smartest travelers know there's almost always unused space if you look for it. In 2025, flight attendants say bins several rows farther back often stay half empty because passengers avoid walking too far once they find seats. Seniors who scan the cabin as they board often score unexpected space without hassle. One traveler in Atlanta said she hasn't gate checked in years because she always keeps an eye out for spare bins while walking down the aisle. The fix? Don't panic if your row is packed. Calmly ask a flight attendant to point you toward open space. They'll usually know exactly where it is. Once stowed, relax. Your bag is safe, even if it's not directly above your head. Bonus tip: the crew bin secret. Here's one flight attendant hack most seniors don't know. On nearly every flight, certain overhead bins are reserved for crew bags, equipment, or emergency items. But in 2025, airlines have quietly stopped enforcing those spaces as strictly, especially on full flights. That means those bins often sit half empty while passengers are fighting for space rows away. Seniors who politely ask flight attendants, "Is there a crew bin available?" are often surprised to have their bags placed in those protected spaces. One retired traveler in Los Angeles said she uses this trick on almost every flight. Her bag always ends up secure in a near-empty bin, while others are forced to gate check. The fix? Don't demand, just ask calmly as you board. If you explain that you have medications or health items you need access to, crew are far more likely to help. It's a hidden advantage most passengers never think to request, and it works more often than you'd imagine. Overhead space in 2025 is a battlefield. Have you ever had to gate check your bag, and what's your best strategy to keep it with you?